Tom Aspinall just went off on Ciryl Gane. Gane posted a training update saying he's still waiting for a fight date, and Aspinall fired back in the comments. He said there's no date because he's not medically cleared and he's about to have surgery thanks to Gane's disgusting fingernails. Aspinall's still dealing with vision problems from that eye poke at UFC 321, and he called Gane a cheat. He promised he'll be back to smash Gane's face in. The surgery's happening in the next few weeks, so the rematch is on hold for now. Paddy Pimblett doesn't think Jake Paul stands a chance against Anthony Joshua. He pointed out the massive size difference and said everyone wants to see AJ punch Paul's head in. The fight's happening Friday in Miami, and Paddy's making it clear he's rooting for his fellow Englishman to destroy Paul.
Can't get over how mad this is, you know. How does this helmet think that he's gonna have a go at AJ, lad? Look at the size difference. We all want to see AJ absolutely punch his head in, but we might as well help the little out, mightn't we? Got an idea for him, actually, to help him with that little 5-inch height advantage he keeps moaning about.
Mark Zuckerberg just sparred 3 hard rounds with Merab Dvalishvili. Merab posted the footage showing them going at it in the gym. Zuckerberg's been seriously training MMA for years now and has worked with top UFC fighters like Israel Adesanya and Alex Volkanovski. He even got a takedown on Merab during the sparring session, though Merab obviously wasn't going full speed. It's pretty wild seeing a billionaire tech CEO putting in real work with a UFC champion. If you're enjoying this, hit that like button. Anderson Silva was asked to pick between Alex Pereira and Khamzat Chimaev if they ever fought. Silva didn't hesitate. He said Khamzat's a beast and an amazing fighter, but he's putting his money on Alex. Silva trains with Pereira and knows what he's capable of. The question came up because Pereira's been pushing for that heavyweight move in a John Jones fight, while Khamzat just won the middleweight title. If Pereira does go up to heavyweight and Khamzat stays at 185, this fight probably never happens. But if it did, Silva's taking the Brazilian knockout artist over the dominant wrestler. Coming from a legend like Anderson, that's high praise for Pereira's chances.
What about the current middleweight champion, Khamzat Chimaev? What do you make of him and his skill set?
Well, he's a beast. He's an amazing fighter. But I put on my chance in Alex.
Against him if they ever fought.
Yep.
Anderson Silva was asked about Dana White ahead of his boxing match this week. Silva said he hasn't talked to Dana in years, but he defended him against all the criticism. Silva said people need to understand Dana's a businessman who's been in the game for decades. It's all about numbers. When a fighter stops drawing the same numbers, why would you keep them? Silva basically said there's no point being mad at how Dana runs things because that's just business. If the numbers drop, you're out. Silva gets it, it's not personal, it's just how the fight game works. Arman Tsarukyan wants to be the backup fighter for Paddy Pimblett versus Justin Gaethje at UFC 324. He said even if it's 10 days before or 5 days before, he'll accept the fight. Arman's going to celebrate New Year's in Armenia, then fly to Las Vegas for the event. He'll have his weight checked and stay in shape, ready to step in if either guy pulls out. After getting passed over for that title shot, Arman's making sure he's in position to capitalize if something goes wrong. And speaking of Arman, he got a pretty cool gift from a fan. Someone made custom shirts featuring him and Khamzat Chimaev with the words, "Armenia and Chechnya, where friendship forms our foundation and God-given strength defines our purpose." The fan asked Arman to deliver the second shirt to Khamzat, made it an X large for him since he's a bigger guy. Arman promised it'll reach him. It's cool seeing fans celebrate that bond between the two. Chael Sonnen went on Ariel Helwani's show and said Ilia Topuria should be stripped of the lightweight title. Chael revealed he had a conversation with someone meaningful in the UFC who told him interim belts only exist for fighters dealing with injury or illness. If Ilia is missing fights for anything outside of that and doesn't have a doctor's report, he needs to be stripped. Here's what he said.
I want to get your thoughts on Ilia Topuria. He comes out yesterday with, a bit of a shocking statement. This seems a lot more serious and deeper than we had originally thought. What do you think they should do with the lightweight title? There's been some talk this morning of just making the Paddy Pimblett Justin Gaethje fight for the actual title. Do you like that idea? Does Ilia deserve 6-7 months to figure things out? And if he can't come back, then you move in that direction? What do you think they should do with it?
I'm gonna dance. I'm gonna do a little tiptoe, but I was at the Apex a week ago. I had a conversation with a very meaningful person in this industry, and that was the first person that ever suggested to me that Ilia be stripped. And I was a little surprised by it, and I didn't comment, I listened. Their argument, though, was that the interim belt is for those that are dealing with an illness or an injury. If we would like to show grace to an undisputed champion because he's missing matches specifically for illness or injury. And the moment Ilia informs us that he is missing matches for anything outside of the criteria of illness or injury, that's why you strip him.
So where do you stand? Should they strip Ilia, or should the UFC give him time to handle his situation? Drop your thoughts in the comments. A jiu-jitsu athlete just showed how much force an ankle lock can actually generate. He took 3 wooden baseball bats, positioned them against his shin, and snapped all 3 at once by pulling the technique. It's a wild demonstration of how much pressure these submissions put on the joint when they're fully locked in. Usman Nurmagomedov hopes his brother Umar gets to fight Petr for the bantamweight title. Umar's facing Deiveson Figueiredo at UFC 324 next month, and if he wins impressively, Usman thinks he deserves the next title shot. Umar lost to Merab Dvalishvili earlier this year, but bounced back with a win over Mario Bautista. If Merab doesn't get an immediate rematch with Jan, the path is open for Umar. PFL featherweight champion Movlid Khaybulaev just got stripped of his title and lost $1 million. He tested positive for a banned substance that boosts your cardio and endurance. He got caught on the same night he won the tournament back in August. Now he's suspended for a year and has to give everything back. This isn't a tainted supplement situation, it's a serious performance enhancer that athletes get banned for using. Khaybulaev trains with Khabib's team in Dagestan, and this is their second problem like this in a few years. His teammate Usman Nurmagomedov also got caught before. Islam Makhachev won the welterweight belt at UFC 322, and now he's talking about facing Kamaru Usman next. Belal says Michael Morales deserves the shot after knocking out Sean Brady while staying undefeated. But Islam and Kamaru share the same manager, Ali Abdelaziz, and Belal thinks something's up. Speaking on his YouTube channel, he broke it down. We see Islam planting the seeds of Usman should be the next guy. Obviously, they have the same manager. Obviously, the manager planted the seeds in his head. Do I think Usman is an easier matchup for him? Of course. The guy fought 1 time in 3 years, and he's won in 3. Belal made it clear he's not hating on Islam's dominance, but when you look at who actually earned the title shot, it's not Usman. Meanwhile, guys like Morales, Ian Gary, and Shavkat Rakhmonov are on fire and getting passed over. Arman's staying busy while he waits. He just won his first belt outside the octagon yesterday at ACBJ J20 in Moscow. Arman submitted Mehdi Baidulayev to capture the Stars belt, locking in a rear naked choke with just 13 seconds left. But things got heated early. Arman landed an illegal knee during a clinch. Baidulayev fired back with a kick, and the referee had to step in. Arman got a yellow card, but once the match restarted, he took over and got the finish. It's his second grappling win this year and shows he's not sitting around doing nothing while Dana decides his UFC future. Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua faced off this week, and the size difference was crazy. Joshua's 6 feet 6 inches and 245 pounds, while Paul's 6 feet 1 inch. The fight happens Friday in Miami on Netflix. This is Paul's biggest test yet. Joshua's a former 2-time heavyweight champion who knocked out Francis Ngannou in under 2 rounds. Despite facing his toughest opponent yet, Paul's already looking past Joshua. He told ESPN that Alex Pereira is on his hit list for 2026. Paul says Pereira's team wants the fight, but the UFC contract is the problem. Pereira fired back and said Paul's just using his name for promotion since he knows the fight can't happen. With Dana White and Paul still beefing, getting a UFC champion released isn't happening. One of boxing's greatest ever just announced his retirement. Terence Crawford is hanging up the gloves at 42-0. He's walking away as undisputed super middleweight champion after beating Canelo Alvarez back in September. Crawford made history as the first male fighter to go undisputed in 3 different weight classes. He leaves as a 5-division champion with a perfect record. Crawford said he's stepping away because he won a different kind of battle, the one where you walk away on your own terms. But Jake Paul's not buying it. Paul said Crawford's not actually retired and called it a smart play to get everyone talking about him. Paul claims Crawford was down to fight him this year, and he's planning to make it happen in 2026. Boxing retirements always come with an asterisk, so we'll see if Crawford really sticks to it. Before we wrap up, I want to share something Daniel Cormier said in an interview that really hit different. Someone asked him what advice he'd give to young fighters trying to reach the top. His answer wasn't what you'd expect. DC said the most important thing is to stay committed and love every single day you're in that gym. Because here's what he misses now that he's retired. It's not the fighting, it's not the championships or the big moments, it's the time he spent training with his friends. Cain Velasquez, Luke Rockhold, Khabib, Islam, Josh Thompson, John Fitch, all those guys grinding together every day. He doesn't have anxiety about not training to fight anymore. What he misses is the camaraderie. Just being in the gym with his boys, putting in work, building something together. That's the thing that sticks with you. It's interesting hearing that from a 2-division champion. You'd think he'd miss the glory or the competition, but no. It's the everyday moments with his teammates that meant the most. Just shows you what really matters when everything's said and done.
Would you give, for example, to a person who is now starting with combat sports and also would like to reach the top, what piece of advice would you give?
Stay committed. Work hard, stay committed. Love every day, because that's the thing you miss when it's done. I don't have an anxiety about not training and fighting. I miss the time I got to spend with all my friends in the gym, with Cain Velasquez and Luke Rockhold and Khabib Nurmagomedov, Islam Makhachev, Josh Thompson and John Fitch. All those great guys, that's what I miss. I don't miss the fighting. I miss the camaraderie of being in the gym with my friends. So live every day, love every day, and just be super committed to everything you're doing.
So we've got Aspinall needing surgery before he can fight Gane again, Belal calling out his own manager for pushing an easier fight for Islam, Jake Paul facing his biggest test yet on Friday while already calling out Pereira, and Khaybulaev getting stripped of $1 million. Arman staying ready as the backup fighter while winning grappling belts, and DC reminded us what really matters when it's all over. The sport's moving fast right now. Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you made it this far, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss anything. See you in the next one.